Bible to you, and I'm reading from Galatians chapter 5 and beginning at verse 22, just 2 verses. The Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness and self-control. That's all I want to read. Many years ago, in a prison where I worked as a chaplain, a young man was coming to the end of his sentence, and so he was allowed a weekend pass to go out and reorientate himself with the outside world. On the very first day of his new freedom, he attacked a man with a knife and almost killed him. He was quickly arrested and shipped back into prison. A trial was arranged for some future date, and it was suggested that he would probably be given 6 years further to serve, so he wouldn't be coming out of prison for quite a while. Much later, this man came to me, and as I began to gain his trust, he told me some pretty hair-raising stories of his involvement with the occult and some of the terrible experiences that he had experienced as a result of being into witchcraft and so on and so forth. We spent a lot of time together, and he expressed a desire to be free from it all and to start a new life. I believe that the fact that he had nearly killed a man had brought him to his senses. So after praying with the man and spending some time talking to him, I began to see a change come over this man over a period of time. Having a healthy amount of scepticism, which you certainly need working in a prison, I was very careful not to put too much trust in what I was seeing in the man. But when prison officers began to come to me and talk about the change that they could see in this man, and also other prisoners on the same wing as he was, they began to come to me and started to comment about the change that they could all see in this man. And so I began to think, this man has been genuinely converted, and as a result has changed considerably. After some months went by, this prisoner's solicitor contacted me, and he told me that he himself was a born-again Christian, and that having had several meetings with his client, he was very impressed by the change. He'd known him for some years, and he said, I've never seen him like this before. This man is a changed man. The solicitor went on to tell me that his client would probably be given around 6 years more for this serious offence, and that the sentence itself would be just in view of the harm that had been done to the injured party. The solicitor then said that because of the change that was so obvious in his client, that he would be prepared to try and get him a lighter sentence, if I would be prepared to go to court and relate to the court what had happened to bring about such a dramatic change in this young man. So after seeking advice on this matter, I agreed to go to court and to speak on the prisoner's behalf. To cut a very long story short, I did go to court and outlined all that I knew about the young man and what had happened to him and the change that had come about him, and the comments that I'd received from prison officers and from other prisoners. So these changes had been observed by many people and commented on by many people. The prisoner received just 2 years more to serve. He really got a lighter sentence. He later met and married a young Christian girl, and together they went on to serve the Lord. So what was it that we all saw in this prisoner that convinced us all? Well, it's what I've just been reading in Galatians chapter 5. It gives us a clue. It says that the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness and self-control, and that these things will obviously evidence themselves to people who know us. And this is what we had seen in the life of the young prisoner. He'd gone from being a ruffian, a man with a lot of anger, to this new type of person. And this change had been so evidenced to such an extent that tough prison officers were convinced about the change that had come over him. You know, folks, unless people see some measure of these fruits in all of our lives, we will never be convincing in our witness for Christ. I guess if we are to be honest, not one of us will ever be squeaky clean in this world. I know I'm not, and I guess none of us are. But there has to be something of the nature of Christ which we claim is within us that can be seen and evidenced by other people. So here's a question that we can all ask ourselves this week. Am I truly a reflection to some extent of Christ, or do I simply have a religious virus? And there are plenty of people around with a religious virus, but better to display the nature of Christ. Have a great week. God bless you all. Bye for now. Bye.
Lord, examine my motives. Lord, look into my heart. I could not think of just taking one step without you.